Good morning, dear students. Let's continue with Standard 6th History, Chapter number 2, From Hunting, Gathering to Growing Food. So, today's topic is domestication. So, now, children, what is domestication? Domestication means when people take care of plants and animals. So, here we see domestication is name given to the process in which people grow plants and look after animals. Very often, plants and animals that are tended by people become different from wild animal, plants and animal. So, the plants and animals which people take care, they become domesticated and they are different from wild plants and animals. This is because people select plant and animal for domestication. For example, they select those plants and animals that are not prone to disease. So people select such plant and animals which don't catch any disease. They also select plant that yield large size grain, and even they grow such plant that gives a large size grain and have strong stalk. Stalk means stem. Yield means grow. So people grow such large type plant which give large type of grains, and their the stem is also very strong, capable of bearing the weight of ripe grain. So such plant they choose that are strong enough to bear the weight of the fruits. Seeds from selected plants are preserved and sown to ensure that new plants and seed will have the same qualities. So, such good qualities of seeds are preserved, children, so that they can plant those seeds, they can and germinate and get a new good quality of plant. So, if they want a good quality of apple, so they will keep a good quality of apple seed. If they want a good quality of mango, so they will not take a small mango seed, they will take a nice mango which is having big mango seed and big mangoes. Such seed they will take and they will preserve that and they will use those seed. Next, most animals those that are relatively gentle are selected for breeding. So even when they are selecting the animals, they take such animals those who are gentle, they are not wild. Okay, as a result, gradually domesticated animals and plants become different from wild animals. So they take such type of plants and animals, those can be domesticated and they are gentle than the wild animals. For example, the teeth or and horn of wild animals are usually much large. So you can see in the picture, children, there are two teeth. So the teeth of wild animal are, this is the teeth of wild animal and this is the teeth of domesticated animals, you will see here. So they search for such animals which are gentle, and for example, the teeth and horn of wild animal are usually much large than those of domesticated animal. So look at these two set of teeth. Which do you think belongs to a wild pig and which to a domestic one? Yes, because these are the bigger ones, so it is for the wild pig, and this is of the teeth belongs to domesticated pig. Domestication was a gradual process that took place in many parts of the world. It began about 12,000 years ago. So, domestication started 12,000 years ago. Virtually all the plant and animal produce that we use as food today is a result of domestication. So, whatever we eat today, children, the plants, whichever we get, those are the product of domestication only. Some of the earliest plants to be domesticated were wheat and barley. So, wheat and barley was first crop which was grown. The earliest domesticated animals include sheep and goat. So the first animal which was domesticated was sheep and goat. So then we come to the next topic, that is a new way of life. If you plant a seed, you will notice that it takes some time to grow. This may be for several days, weeks, months, and in some cases years. So if you sow a seed, so it will take a week time or months time or even year to grow. When people began growing plant, it meant that they had to stay in same place for long time, looking after the plants, watering, weeding, driving away animals and birds till the grain ripened, and then the grain had to be used carefully. So when these hunters and gatherers, they became farmer, they started settling down and they started doing farming. So they started growing plants, children, and for growing plants they have to stay at the same place, okay, for long time, because they have to take care of the plant and they have to water regularly to the plants. And even the weeding means the unwanted grass which comes, unwanted plant which comes with the plant which they are growing. So that plant they have to remove, that grass they have to remove. And even drive away animals and birds means the birds and animals, they come to eat those plants or grains. So they have to see that they don't come and eat their plant or their fruits before they ripe. As grains had to be stored for both food and seed, people had to think of ways of storing it. In many areas, they began making large clay pots or wove baskets or dug pits into the ground. So now when they were growing these grains, okay, children, then they wanted to store it. So where they were storing, they were making clay pots or basket they were making, or even they were making they were digging under the ground and making a place, okay, pit like place where they could store their grains. Then we come to the next topic, that is storing animals. So animals multiply naturally. Beside, if they are looked after carefully, they provide milk, which is an important source of food. So people started taking care of animals, and those animals were taken care, and those animals were giving milk, and that was the source of food. And even the meat of the animals they used to eat, however required. In other words, animals that are reared can be used as a store of food. So animal that is reared means the animals which they were taking care of, okay. So those animals were reared, taken care of, and they were used afterwards, like the chicken which they were taking care of, afterwards they used to eat those chicken. It was a store food for them later on. So then the next topic is finding out about the first farmer and herders. So in map 2 in page number 13, we will see, you will notice a number of blue square, each mark a site that where archaeologists have found evidence of early farmers and herders. So in the map you will see there are the sites are marked where archaeologists have found evidence. They have found some remains of that there were farmers and herders in those places. These are found all over the subcontinent, that means all over India these evidence were found. Some of the most important one are in the northern west in present day Kashmir, and in east and south India. So these places the evidence were found. So to find out whether these sites were settlements of farmers and herders, scientists study evidence of plants and animals bones. So scientists found that there were plants and animals bone found in these places. One of the most exciting finds include the remain of burnt grain. So they found burnt grain, children. The grain was burned, and they found that in those places. This may have been burnt accidentally or on purpose. So maybe that grain was burned accidentally, or for some purpose they have burned those grains. Scientists can identify this grain, and so we know that a number of crops were grown in different part of the subcontinent. So because the scientists had identified this crop, so then we came to know that in olden days they were growing those crops like wheat and barley. So burnt wheat and burnt barley was found in those times. So then scientists came to know that these crops were grown there. They also identify the bone of different animals. Even different animals' bone was found in this place. So next topic is towards a settled life. Now first they were hunters gatherers, now they started settling down and they became farmers and herders. So archaeologists have found traces of huts or houses at some site, for instance in Burja Home. So the traces of the scientists have found huts and houses in the sites in this place, Burja Home. Now Burja Home is in present day. It is in which place? It is in present day Kashmir. People built pit houses which were dug into the ground. So what is pit houses? The houses which were dug inside the ground, and steps leading into them, and there were steps which were taking them inside the house. These may have provided shelter in cold weather. Why they were making a house inside the ground? Because in Kashmir there is cold weather, children. So to stay warm, so they used to make a house inside the ground. They used to dug the ground and make houses inside the ground. So archaeologists have also found cooking hearths. Hearths means a fireplace. Okay, so archaeologists have found cooking place, okay, fireplace, both inside and outside the hut. So when they wanted to cook inside, they used to cook inside, and even outside they had that sigdi. In Hindi we call sigdi, no, that for cooking place they had the fireplace, which suggests that depending on weather, people could cook food either inside or outside. So if the weather is too cold, they used to cook inside, and if the weather is okay, they used to cook outside.